Hello there, Ian here, and I hope this is catching you happy, healthy and strong. Our spaces matter a great deal to us. They matter in affecting the way we feel and the way we interact, and in business situations, how much we contribute, how we interact with our colleagues and team members and our output as the final result. And many times we can overlook the basic environment that we're working in. I remember a study way back many years ago, and I can't remember who did the study, but it was in a production environment. And a manager asked the team, do you think the lights are too bright? They look a bit too bright in here. And a couple of the guys said, I don't know, we'll ask the crew. And they said, yeah, I think it is a little bit too bright. And so he said, look, I'm going to just turn the brightness down a little bit and see if it helps. And production actually went up. And the manager then said, you know what, I think we've turned them down a little bit too far. So I think that we should turn them back up again. What do you think? And the workers went around and said, yeah, I think it could go up a little bit more. And so the brightness went up to, I believe, around about the same as it was when they began this exercise. And production went up again, even though now the brightness of the lighting had been turned to pretty much where it was before. And I always remember that study, and it was really the fact that somebody had taken an interest, somebody had bothered to try and care for the environment that the factory personnel were working in, and that counts for a great deal. So our spaces matter. What can we do? Well, I'm not just suggesting for any minute that you go crazy and renovate the whole office. They can be very expensive things to do, so I'm not suggesting that you go the whole 9 yards and totally renovate your office. But there are things that you can do to make the environment a little bit better. One of the key things that I would encourage you to do, if you're going to start somewhere and you look at the office and think, what can we do? What are some touches that we can make the environment better, more accommodating for our team members? You may have some ideas that come to mind pretty quickly, but one area that in my view is overlooked time and time again is the washroom. The comfort room, the bathroom, the break room, whatever polite term you want to call it. It's somewhere that we all as human beings visit every day, and in many of my experiences, it's sadly overlooked. I've worked in some places where I've taken a pretty big detour to go somewhere else rather than make that visit in our own office, and it doesn't require a lot of effort to just give the washroom a bit of a facelift, to make sure that things that we use are there in good supply, that the air is clean, that the taps work properly, and that the basic functions of the place are working properly, and also it's a nice place to visit. I remember I was doing one particularly boring job in between study programs. I was doing a lot of temporary jobs, and although the work was really boring, one of the highlights of my day was visiting the washroom. And I know that sounds really funny, but it was a welcome break from doing something that really wasn't very inspiring and was really quite boring to do. If that is a little lift in people's day, it can help. And also, we send a signal to the staff that we care about their well-being, because it's not something that we can avoid doing. So space does matter. It matters for the way we feel and how much we can contribute. I'm not suggesting that you go massively overboard and do an office renovation, but there are touches that you can make to the places that you work in and places that you meet, and take a look at the room that we've all got to use throughout the day. Some are not under your control. I realise that. Some are under the control of the building managers if it's an office block, but I do encourage you to lobby your building management and to make sure that they are taking care of that most special of places. I really hope that did give you some ideas. Have an outstanding day, and I look forward to sharing with you again soon.